Call the meeting to order. Stand for pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Here.
Weeks, Hughes, Williams.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Danworth.
Here.
Church. Here. Varner.
Here. Approval of November minutes. Everyone had a copy. Let's review them. Everyone's had a chance. Any comments or corrections? All in favor of approving November minutes as printed, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We'll come to our first public comment.
Renita Bonadis. I just wanted to say, I've been going through some of the training that we have access through MTA, and the training for F-103, which is finances, has a lot of really good information in it. It's a 4-part series, but it does cover a lot of what's required by law, how finances are to be handled, and just has a lot of good information. It talks about a capital improvement plan, which I don't know if we have one in the township or not. These are things required by law, just like the FOIA policy is. Also speaks to which things need to be done in a timely manner, financial reports that should be put out at every meeting so that the board can make decisions financially, same as budgets. So I think it's something that I would highly encourage all the board members to watch, to take notes, and it also speaks that there's a possibility that with the resources we have is to consider bringing in an outside consultant to review our policies, procedures, and operations in a way to make sure we're in compliance with state law and best practices. Because as we know, there are things like reconciling accounts that are not done. They've been written up in our audits since 2021 at least, and never has corrective action been given to the state for how that's going to be changed. And we've sat through multiple audits now, so things like that are all discussed in that training, and the need to get these things. And there are people out there, Cindy Dodge is one of them, that will come in and do that and help townships, so.
That's what I was going to ask you. MTA would send someone up to,
Well,
like a consultant to do that.
I know there are other townships that are using her because she'll come in and review the policies, ordinances, and
Okay.
see what things are in compliance, what best practices, what things can be improved. I just think since we've got about $1.5–2 million in excess funds, we should be able to afford that. So.
In parallel to that, based on what we've heard, and I have not looked in the back room, I don't necessarily want to look in the back room, but it sounds like records retention hasn't been done in 20+ years. And having possession of, I work for Down, so I've had all the legal stuff for that. Having possession of the paperwork is a liability, because it can be discovered and things can be learned. It's like, for your own future benefit and legal liability, getting rid of some of that stuff and sorting the rest so it's findable, like bond documents, which if it weren't in the midst of stuff, would be findable. So, and there are people who can help, whether they're free or pay for them, but if it hasn't been done in that long, it's not something that can happen overnight, but it needs to sort of get started because the legacy is only getting worse as time goes on.
Hi folks, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jason Tunny. I'm running for state senate in the 35th district. I'm a lifelong resident of the 35th district. I was born in Saginaw Township, raised there, worked in the Saginaw County Prosecutor's Office, and then I went to go work at Duralast for 20 years. I was the general counsel and executive vice president there at Duralast. This state senate seat, as I stand here today, has been vacant for 348 consecutive days and counting. It will be over a year until it's filled, and that is wrong, and that's undemocratic, that is downright un-American. That's why I'm running for this spot. I'm running as a Republican. There is a special primary on February 3rd. There is a special election on May 5th, and I know you'll all vote on those days, so I want to thank you very much for having me at your meeting tonight. And again, I'm Jason Tunnick. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you for coming. Any other public comments at this time? Commissioner?
Greetings, everyone. A few things to say. First on jail count, things are stable there. I'm going to go over the numbers. For the sheriff for the time being, is suspending the carcass patrol. Not that the program was successful. Now with winter, it's a little more hazardous for them. There's also a few less of that, but it's more safety for the people to get them and all that. They'll resume that program in the spring because it was well received. I don't have a count of how many. I know the 1 month was around 200. It was we harvest a lot of deer, unfortunately, that way in our Midland County. So tax statements were issued on time, so people should have their tax statements. The county is hiring. There's a few spots here and there, and where people would find them, they just go to the Midland County website under the departments tab, and then look for human resources job postings, and so they can see whatever is available. So if people are looking for jobs, there's that. Pinecrest count is stable. The 52 out of the 60 beds possible. Was 53 last month. One passed away. The county services building construction is still underway. I don't think it's going to be quite done this year, but it'll be done early next year. We passed a resolution to use some money to do some upgrades on the first floor. To make all the other upgrades were mostly on the upper floors and around the veterans office. But they're going to do some carpeting in some of the bathrooms down on the first floor. So that I think is all I had. Keep it short this time. If there are any questions or issues? All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Larry. Approval of tonight's agenda. Greg wanted to add, we had to renew four planning commission members. Would be number 10. I don't know if anyone else has anything. No one else has anything. All in favor of approving tonight's agenda with one added item, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Reports, correspondence, I did this months ago, just to update on that Phillips drain that Joe sold. I don't know if I shared this. But when they determined, that we had to create that district, that Will Sears, he protested it and went to court. And, he ended up, they said a couple times, and it wasn't written right, but he chose not to amend it and asked to have the case dismissed without prejudice, being the end of the case, no sanctions, but no fees were assessed to anybody, so that district's gonna have to pay these. It'll be assessed the fees that the Drain Commission attorneys had to defend it or go to court with Mr. Sears, so that was just a warning that they're gonna, but I haven't heard any more from Joe on that. So that's
Where does, what part of the Sears own?
right on the corner,
He owns the field, he's a new farmer.
11 acres, just,
Yeah.
you know, 14.
Okay.
But the, went right across his property and he appealed it, which he
That's
was,
the part that's underneath the ground before the hill goes down.
Mhm.
Yep, okay.
which he has a right to. So.
Yeah.
Russ, did you say that they've settled it, or they're not? They haven't
No,
settled
they've
it?
settled it, he's dismissed, since CARES did not impose sanctions, attorney fees, the cost to defend the frivolous case have been assessed to the whole drainage district. So yeah, it was, he just, Sears chose not to amend, whatever that meant, amend the appeal, and asked to have the case dismissed without prejudice, so basically it was just done. So he said the next step is, acquire the necessary ROW, right away easement, so that's the process for that one.
So is the district formed now?
It is, but they're still, I think they haven't assessed it, they're still working on,
We're still working on that, but
on who's getting assessed what.
landowners know who's targeted.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing, this is from a while ago, tying in with you, Renita, there's, MTA is offering 3 classes over 2 days at Frankenmuth. One of them is Township Board Roles and Relationships, how boards make decisions, and at your service, meeting township needs. These are just classes at Bavarian, if anyone wants to. I think the deadline is the 22nd of January. It's, December 22nd is the day to register. But the dates are the January 13th and 14th. If anyone's interested, I think they're from 8 till noon, classes are. So.
Yeah, there's 2 classes on the first day and 1 class the second.
So that's all there that I have. Todd didn't have anything, right? Just here. We're good.
Oh, we're gonna talk about the garbage
9.
there.
At
Okay.
9. Just your election.
Oh, yeah, we have 4 elections. I got ballots this morning. I've got 85 done of 400. And, yeah,
And it's only what part?
35th district. So people on some of this side are 36, they won't vote. So, and we've combined precinct 1, 2, and 3. So it's just come in the door and go to one precinct. It's a very simple ballot. You vote for A or B, and out the door you go. So, yeah, we're not gonna open 3 separate polling. And then again in May, as he stated, and then again in August, and then in November. And John, I sent you those dates.
You're on the calendar.
I'm on top of it. So, okay.
All right, Sandy?
Tax bills did go out, the winter tax bills, but we discovered there was, the county didn't, there was an error in update of, property sales and property transferred ownership since June. And so all the tax bills went out to the previous owners. So we've got 103 of them in our township. And so we had to have a new update to BSNA, and the county is now in the process of reprinting those tax bills and getting them out to the new owners. So, but other than that, tax bills are rolling in, payments are rolling in, and moving right along on that.
Okay, Craig, anything?
No, Russ.
John?
No, nothing.
Brian? Reconciliation with clerk and treasurer.
It's through September, I have October's done, but Todd's gone, so he hasn't been able to balance that. And then we're working on November's.
Okay. Authorization for the payment of the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills as they stand.
I'll second.
Does any of the board have any questions or comments on them?
No,
Public
there
comments?
were no questions on it.
Public comments? Roll call?
Pruitt,
Yes.
Norton,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Van Wert,
Yes.
Turk,
Yes.
Brunner.
Yes. Reports. Make this in here. Zoning, do you have anything for that?
Yeah, actually, this fall, the zoning permits came up quite a bit. I did one with, so there was a half a dozen or more all of a sudden. Hold on one second, Greg, I wanna back up to reporters. Okay. Have you checked the salvage deal? Have you seen that?
Salvage deal.
Okay. Yeah, there was a salvage complaint in Homer Township, it was posted by the Midland County Sheriff's Department.
Never heard
Okay.
anything about that.
Okay. As for that, I don't think it should be code ordinance, anyway, Have you seen that permits too?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, we were just having a discussion, it looks like, building is down a bit.
Oh, really?
So-
I always, all of a sudden saw a spike in these zoning permits.
For actual buildings?
Yeah, houses, whole buildings, with quite a spike for,
My sheet, but yeah, we had probably a couple, and then, of course, this is a month behind, so, you know, we'll see what the next one comes out of.
yeah, I was kinda surprised with the even as it was. And all of a sudden, Homer's got four.
Homer's got 4?
Homer has four.
For
Building.
building, we have mechanical, electrical, or something.
Yeah.
Electrical, there's 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. And here, 3 more.
That's that. Code authority.
Go right into it. So we had our meeting last month, find my agenda here. We had some discussion about, the office, so our offices are still in a bit of a disarray because of the county building. We're really hoping that they get that done so that we can get back into the actual area that is ours again. We do have our second part-time office personnel, and again, things are a little tight because of space. We're hoping that we'll be able to get both of them into an office. That did necessitate us to discuss a new computer for her. So we're working towards getting enough equipment in so that they can both be active at the same time. And that also did bring up the need for looking into, we use QuickBooks for all of our accounting, and whether or not we want to pay the money for QuickBooks online so that it can be used by multiple people. And I know it's been a long time since I've had to pay for QuickBooks, but it's ridiculous.
It is, we have to pay for it now here when the balance is stated, since I got the new
Yeah.
computer.
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
$50-some a month for,
yeah, and that's probably just for your payroll, right?
no, that's not for payroll, we're going to BSNA for payroll, that's for me to balance the statements.
It's a quite substantial amount of money if you do the online version every year, and even if you don't do the online, it's still, they've got you, so. But other than that, there wasn't a whole lot. Everybody has the updates from the last month. The next meeting will be tomorrow night. If anybody wants to go, 5 o'clock, county services building. I know, always misses it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it either, so, we'll see if we can get a representative from the township to go, but, I expect that it'll probably be a quick meeting. I don't know that they'll even have quorum, so we'll see. Any questions?
Thanks, Keith. Parks.
I was gone last month for a family issue, so I don't know what was discussed at the meeting, but I've been told, if I got it correctly, Brian, that there were some additional picnic tables delivered down into the park.
Yep.
Yep, so those will be ready to set out, and, in the spring when everything gets warm, right now they're all under underneath the roofs, so they're covered from the weather on that. I don't think we have anything going on right now with the snow and stuff that's been out there, so there were a few things we did not get done. That's gonna hold us up in the spring, but we'll move with that. If I understand correctly, the guys had not put any water down to make ice, because they were concerned it was supposed to warm up here in the next couple of days and the water will flow away. So hopefully, when we know we're gonna get into some good, strong, cold weather again that'll last for a while, we'll get some water out there. I've already had a call from a local resident that was wanting to get her grandkids out there skating, so.
How thick do we do that ice down there?
I think it's only 3-4 inches, it's not,
As much as they can keep on it.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever measured it.
no.
Well, I just want, because we haven't had any ice, but we don't normally at this time either, because there's always warmer weather, but I just wonder how much melts, like when we have a warm streak here, like we got.
The sun really.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
with-
I was wondering, do we need to do the whole thing? Cause I can get like heavy plastic. But it comes, I think it's only like 50, it might be 100 by 200 piece of that heavy plastic and put that down. But if we only did half of it, it'd be a little more manageable, and that way, if we just filled it with water, you could take the fire tank and just dump 2,000 gallons and it won't, if it melts, it's not gonna dissipate. That's the worst thing, it'll warms up and that sun just melts it and it
But
goes
when it
around.
melts, does it make it pithy, like, does it?
Yeah, but then a lot of it just drains out,
Yeah.
it just melts and runs away, so then you gotta start back over, it's back down to cement.
Yeah, but if you put plastic down, will that do that same thing?
Yeah, but at least the water's still there. And it just, it might,
You have to keep refilling with fresh
yeah,
water.
it'll just refreeze again.
Which is a problem we had, 15 years ago or more, when we had multiple sheets taped together and.
Well, that's why I was thinking, just get one piece, and if we don't do that whole
Yeah.
ice arena, I don't think that's gonna be
Well, something's better than nothing, I
At least I
don't
think
have any
that-
big rush of kids coming in to play soccer on the full court, because they can go down to the
Or hockey.
Orchard Drive Park and
Mhm.
play on that synthetic surface. So, okay.
Joe?
For parks, I was at the meeting and we talked about having a survey for what the future of the parks looks like, but parks didn't get in the newsletter that went out. And so, I understand why, but can we like have a checklist on all the parks that should be in the newsletter so that we don't miss one? Because I don't know how we're gonna, since we have no communication way besides the newsletter, I don't know how we're gonna tell people to take a survey.
We're gonna give it to Renita and let her show.
Did you see that Spicer proposal on the 5-year plan?
Basically, yeah, I didn't know if you'd done anything with it, so I hadn't addressed it.
No, so what was it, 12 or 15,000? They estimated, I think it was. But, yeah, don't know.
Yeah,
I think a lot of that
we just need to have a discussion on it and figure out what we wanna do. The other thing that's of interest that's occurred, we had an inquiry come in and it sounds like after we've had several discussions with multiple people, more information forthcoming, is that it looks like there's some issues with the soccer club on the north side of town. So there's a bunch of parents from Bullock Creek and Lee Township that wanna set up a Bullock Creek soccer club, and they're looking for a place to play. And we don't have that new field seeded, so I don't think we can get them in this year, even if I can fit them in the schedule. So I'm trying to get the schedules from Bullock Creek High School soccer, Made in Michigan, and then the Bullock Creek Little League. Because everybody here has seen the congestion with the parking that's going on out there. And we're, it's nice to be successful getting the parking, but when we can't do anything, and as Kareem, notified me this last time her and I sat down and talked about it. I was unaware that we have so much of a parking issue there, it's interfering with running the pavilions. Which leads to another question, because it's like, well, we're not charging these people anything to use the parks. Token, you know, buy us a case of toilet paper, you know, for the bathrooms kind of thing. So I think we're gonna need to look at and discuss what we wanna charge for these teams to use the fields, since it's gonna cut into the pavilion income.
Yeah. either that
Or else
just-
find a way to, you know, like the brand new pavilion, if somebody wants it on the same evening as Made in Michigan's gonna be there, are we gonna stand out there and monitor the parking lot?
Not happening.
No.
And we need a sign that they can't park on the walking trail. Cause we get calls down here, they're furious.
Yeah.
On the flag football weekends, they park on the walking trail, there's nowhere to park.
There's signs
The
that
firemen
say
close their
no.
parking lot off.
I'm sure there's sign that says no,
No, yeah,
No
there's
signs.
no vehicles on this trail.
Well, they're parking there.
I can understand that, because nobody there to enforce it.
You throw one away and it's a message. There's nowhere to park. I go there, there's nowhere to park.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes people, John, I drove through the fire department the one time here a year ago, and they were parking in the pink spots for the volunteers to park at.
Those are red, not pink.
You call it red. I'm not questioning your color choice, but.
One year they were pink.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I'm never gonna let you forget it. Anyway, Donovan came up and said, what are you doing here? I said, I'm just looking at all these people that are parking illegally because these volunteer spots aren't supposed to be parked in. This is the kind of people we're dealing with sometimes. He said, it's after 5 o'clock. I don't know what that has to do with traffic wrecks and fires not taking place.
That's the type of people you're dealing with.
That's like
5 o'clock.
It should be okay to park here, it's after 5. You know. So, anyway, so there's multiple issues with trying to get that, and we just need to work it out and see what we can do, but in the process of all this, I think we need to revise and look at some type of formal agreements to go out to these people and specify what they need to contribute
Yeah.
in these things, so. I'll get the park committee to start looking at that closer. While we do the survey questions.
We could expand our parking down there.
Yeah, there's lots of.
Going into too
They need
much
to,
of
they
those
need to
fields
contribute
that they
gravel
want for
trains
soccer.
instead.
What's that?
I said they need to contribute gravel trains instead of. Brick-a-brac.
Yeah, there's more areas that's not being used that could be gravel. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
Well, we hope to turn that whole area where they're playing soccer now into grass parking.
Yeah, grass parking is what we're
But
playing with.
we'll need something all along that walking trail to block it off so people don't pull over it.
Guy walking with a cocaine shotgun stops most people,
That's
You're
other
right.
issues.
and you do live in the country.
When Bullock Creek had their colored run or whatever they do with all that chalk stuff, they had people out directing traffic in the parking lot, and there was absolutely no issues. They didn't park on the rail, on the trail, but there were people out there. That football league needs to have some people out there directing traffic.
That might be
Cause
it.
you got a clear parking out back. That-
Yeah.
They don't wanna walk that far in the rain, but they'll sit and watch for an hour in the rain. That's one
That's
solution.
Probably a discussion I'd have to have is have these groups get their own parking attendants, basically.
I wrote it down, John, I'm gonna have her notarize it for you.
That's fine, with 2 or 3 volunteers in parking, it took care of the whole problem.
The discussion we can have with those groups. They're plowing that whole new parking lot. We don't need that whole thing plowed, do we?
Yeah, I think you need to, it doesn't really, whether you do half of it or whether you do the whole thing, I kind of agree with the guys. I think they ought to just clear it all out, cause then you get the
It's
snow
not gonna take
there.
them much more than
It's
another
not-
10 minutes to clear it.
No,
For 20 or 30.
Yeah.
Well, it depends
It
on.
doesn't take much, you leave snow on it, then you're gonna have kids go in there, like I see them even in this parking lot right here, once there's snow on here.
They wanna come
They
do
wanna
donuts.
come in and do donuts, and you're
I
gonna
think it's
have.
good. We're all
Just- Yeah.
No, I think you need to just clear the parking
I
lot,
don't-
that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's part of the park clear, because a lot of people go in there and park and walk back there.
Yeah, but you don't.
So what are you gonna plow? You're gonna plow out by the edge?
Yeah, you
You're
don't
gonna plow
need-
out by the pavilion where
No,
people walk.
up by the edge, because that's where you get onto the park. You don't need 60 parking spaces in the.
It isn't that many
Sorry.
swipes for the guys, and just takes.
Yeah, it's more than you think, but they don't have anything else to do anyways, I guess, so.
I'm good. I said my.
All right, fire department.
All right, for the month of November, we had 21 medical calls. Here's the page right here. 6 mutual aids, 5 lift assists, 4 car accidents, 2 car accidents. It was actually cell phones. 1 fire alarm, 1 barn fire, 1 gas leak, and 1 smoke investigation, which turned out to be fog. Yeah, it got foggy everywhere, but their house was on fire. We did go back to the barn once for a rekindle, and then the air truck went out once. So 44 for the month, 532 for the year. So they're keeping us busy.
What's unit 60?
The air truck.
Oh, okay.
Because it's at our station, they tone us out, so firemen come and take that. So I thought the least we could do is, for them getting out of bed at 2 o'clock in the morning to take it, they could get paid the $20 for 4 hours in the middle of the night. Other news, repairs to the engine. We had some fuses blown that we had to have looked into, and a seat belt that cost us almost $800 to get replaced. So don't wear out your seat belts.
What was it that cut the line, the electric line they were associated with the fuses?
It was actually, the fuse was blown.
I saw that, but there was something that also, I thought indicated that the line had been clipped or something.
No, well, it had been when some of the heat shrink that they melted some of the coating off the wire, which didn't affect the wire. The problem was it was a 15-amp fuse, and we tried rolling out 2 hose reels at the same time. And the fuses in that thing, the guys are not allowed to open the dash and look at the fuses because it's just a garage of wiring in there. And so we don't touch that. And that's where that fuse was. New tables, they're here. They haven't been put out yet because the boys were cleaning the carpet and whatnot. But you guys will like the new tables. They're much better than the old ones. And continuing yet for the EMS, we had 1 class down there. This month has been canceled. So that is the reports for the year. You can burn brush today because there's snow underground. Don't do it Friday because the snow will be gone. And be careful tonight, or actually tomorrow morning and tomorrow night with the change in the temperature and the rain. We're supposed to get thunderstorms tomorrow. But then the sudden drop in temperature tomorrow night's gonna be miserable.
Skating on it.
Everything's gonna turn nice. So just be careful out there.
Sharpen the blades to make that turn easier.
Yeah, straight, yeah. That'd be a joke.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Planning commission.
We did our calendar for the 2026 year, put that up on the window out there. Then we did our extension for the members for 3-year terms. That's coming up on the agenda item. And officers are still, they still make me chairperson, Cassie's still the secretary, and Brian Horton is the vice chairperson. That was our meeting.
Thanks, Greg. And cemetery.
Cemetery, I think the garbage got dumped today, the dumpster. 6 weeks it's been not taken care of.
Assessor, I didn't make board review. Do you want? You just had.
We just had a couple poverty exemptions,
Just the
that
two.
was all. And 1 was approved and 1 was denied.
All right, we come to our first agenda item with Wayne Ryle. from AHP here to present the audit.
Thank you.
Some of the information, the last time I was able to give you an update, so this will be on the financial statement. We still have a few items that we're just tweaking, adding some minor disclosure items for the financial statements, but the audit's completed. So what you have here is that final form, other than a few adjustments made. Overall, the audit is unmodified, and what that means is that the numbers and the disclosures are fairly stated in all material respects, so that's consistent with what we've had in the past. On page, I'll just go over some highlights. On page 13, that's the governmental funds statement of revenue expenditures and change in fund balance, and that shows each of the funds. And the general fund did have a loss of $372,000 this year, but that was a budgeted loss, and mostly that it relates to the park additions and the capital outlay. So that's kind of a one-time thing. But with that, the ending fund balance is still almost $1,300,000. And that's pretty close to your total expenditure. So what that means is that the fund balance that you have is basically sufficient for about a year's worth of expenditures. That's not a hard and fast rules or other things that can come into that, but that is a good strong fund balance. The other fund balances, except for district number 11, are all positive at the end of the year. The fire department, which is the next largest fund, also has a fund balance of a little over $1 million, as does the water system maintenance fund. The water district number 11, that's a known negative fund balance, and that has to do with the money that was transferred into that fund for that special district, and that's being basically repaid through the assessments, so that negative amount goes down every year, so that's good. On page 26 is the general fund budget comparison schedules. There are a few negative variances on the expenditure side, nothing that I'm concerned about. They're not big in the overall picture. That's pretty common. It's hard to pinpoint all of the budgeted amounts and actual amounts. Not all of them are known even at the end of the year. But I looked at that as a positive. As I mentioned, you had actually budgeted a loss of $631,000 for this year. It came in at negative $372,000, so that actually is a positive variances. The financial statements themselves and the formats and the financial statement notes are all consistent with what we've had in the past. One of the things we look at is the accounting from year to year consistent? Are the same types of transactions recorded in the same way and recorded in the proper account? So that's one thing that we look for, and we know that those are consistent. We look for any accounting changes, basically because of the accounting standards, and there were some new ones for governmental entities, but nothing that affected the township in any significant way. So those are all positive. One of the things that we look at is internal control. So I do have some comments on that. I want to put it in context. One of the things for all governmental entities, and indeed probably all entities anywhere, is adequate separation of duties. So that cash collections and so forth are separate from the function that records those transactions. So that's common, and that's a positive. You have that here. The Treasurer Department collects that from the tax bills. That information gets transmitted to the Clerk's Department, and those amounts are recorded in the general ledger. So that's done. And I know that from remarks that we've had in the past, bank reconciliations haven't been timely, and it sounds like that's getting caught up. So that's good. our reporting has to be as it was as of 6:30. So what we found is that while things are getting recorded, there is a delay in information coming from the treasurer department to the clerk department, and I think that causes some of that delay. Now, in fairness, we have seen that in other entities, so it's not unique to Homer, but it is considered for auditing purposes to be a material weakness, so it's an area of concern because we really would like to see that revenue. During the audit, and I don't have necessarily a feel for how extensive that was, as an audit team, when we're here, we don't answer questions generally from the public, but there were a couple instances where people would come in, and I think because we happened to be here and asked or commented that checks hadn't cleared yet. So I think if that's the case, that contributes to the delay in the bank reconciliation. Now that said, when we've looked at the amounts and we've looked at the amounts that are recorded, and those we don't have concerns about whether or not funds that have been deposited have been recorded. We're fine with that. There's really more the process. If there is an issue, that delay could delay being able to kind of monitor things appropriately. So we've gone over that in the past audit, so I know you understand that, but we did want to emphasize that because it would be an area of concern. And I know the state, that's one of the things the state looks at, and they do kind of request some follow-up when that occurs. So that's other than that, any comments or observations or questions that have questions?
I know, just going on Dwayne's, there was a statement that we got a month ago, but it was kind of due, it says, we have reviewed deficiencies noted in your audit for the year ending June 30th, 2024. They believe they require further documentation and or explanation, so he had to submit the following: the most recent copy of bank reconciliation with the signature and date of the preparer and reviewer. That was due today, so I think this was sent to Todd, but it's just one of those that I think, like you said, just not being timely, being caught up and being so far behind that the state is following up on it. A year away, but it's also so Todd, I think, had to figure out that's their follow-up, I guess.
And what they asked for is a copy of the most recent bank reconciliation, because they want to be able to see that the township is making progress on that. By sending the most recent one, then they can gauge that any lag time in that. So that's a pretty, for a condition like that, that's a common follow-up to the state.
So do we have a copy of what Todd sent them?
No, I didn't
Okay.
talk to him. Todd's been gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he did to.
So what that's basically meaning that we need to catch up our reports from our clerk and treasurer, bring them up to date, be within 1 month. How far back can we be?
Their general rule is to prepare bank reconciliation as timely as possible, so they give some leeway. What we would see as a best practice is that once the bank reconciliation or bank statement comes in for that month, that be reconciled at least by the end of that month. So some bank statement that would come in for November, depending on the date of the statement, that would be done by the end of November, is probably the best practice.
Okay.
Anybody else have questions for Dwayne? questions?
Looks like everything else is good, Bill.
Any questions from the public?
It was just one question. I noticed in the previous audits and stuff, I noticed there's always a statement about the amount of vulnerability in case of bank failure. Is there something townships can do to protect themselves against that, or is that just a standard known and nobody does anything about it?
It's a little both. There's, the one thing that the board would do would be to evaluate financial institutions for relative strength and so forth. A lot of banks in the area would meet that criteria. The other thing that banks can do sometimes with sweep accounts or other methods, they can kind of spread some of that money around to different banks. Many banks have a sweep option, and you probably speak better to that, where that's just distributed kind of through the bank to other banks to kind of minimize that risk and stay under the FDIC limits.
Okay. I just noticed in previous audits, it's only like the $750,000 if we're at 3 banks that are protected, and the rest of it shows as being vulnerable for bank failure, so.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
So what is the, I see there was 1.3 million on general fund balance, and 1 million on the fire truck, 1 million on the District 11. Is there others too? What's the total fund of the different funds? How much is it? Are we talking another million and other things, or how many millions of dollars?
Yeah, on page 13, there is a line for total fund balances for all of the funds, and that's $4,209,000. That now that's the fund balance. I'd like to clarify that let's see, of that 4,000,002, that is substantially, not entirely, but substantially made up of cash balances. We do have, there's some liabilities that factor into that, but the total cash balance this is on page 11, is a little over 4.5 million. Okay.
So are there any rules or restrictions? How much of that would be able to be in investments earning interest for the township? Michigan class, other ones?
Yeah,
Or there's any-
that's up to the township to, decide.
There's no audit things or no general, nothing from an auditing or government standards of recommending versus leaving it in cash?
A lot of it depends on on cash needs and, need for liquidity, so it's we see quite a bit of variation. Interest rates haven't, in recent years overall haven't been real high, so it hasn't been as much for it's that would be part of the investment policy that the board would decide.
Anybody else have questions? So do we approve this, or do we wait? Just typically, you
I think generally,
present it.
it's accepted as presented. I think is the way it's been worded in the past.
And we could approve it next month, then.
Yeah.
Do it now,
You can be done now.
We could probably-
I'll make the motion to approve the audit report. Second.
Yeah,
Who's
John.
second?
John.
John, approve.
Oh, that's okay, that's what I had. All right.
Any more board comments, public comments? A roll call?
Norton,
Yes.
Pruitt,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Van Wert,
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Burner.
Yes. Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you.
You can go, I feel sorry for you sitting there, this is. Okay, I mean, if you got another township to run to, we are.
I don't. He could be
Okay.
waiting for the.
It's either this or a high school basketball game.
Oh, there's snacks we're gonna have, so yeah, okay.
We'll have some Christmas stuff.
Agenda item number 2 is the W-2s at 1099. Todd wanted to do that like up to $1,200 like he has before.
What was last year's, do you know?
I don't know what the charge, I think it was the same though.
Yeah, I think it's right close to that,
Okay.
yes.
And that's what Todd wanted up
We
to
go with the same.
HP.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make the motion that we spend up to $1,200 for W-2s and 1099s preparation.
I'll second it.
And board comments, public comments? Roll call?
Johnson,
Yes.
Norton,
Yes.
Pruitt,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Turk,
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes. Agenda item number 3 is the guardian alarm. That's the system over here. It's $370.32.
This is our annual,
Yep.
yeah, I'll make the motion to pay that, as it reads.
I'll second it.
So yeah, that's just for the Hawks. You have, yeah, you did. The fire barn is completely.
Completely different.
But, veterans, you
Yeah.
know.
Any board comments or public comments? Roll call?
Okay, Pruitt,
Yes.
Norton,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Turk,
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes. Agenda item number 5 is the garbage 4, I have to check the 2C. 2026 meeting dates. They're all the 3rd Wednesday of the month. I don't know if anyone is okay with everybody or, except one.
Well, really, you're going.
That same one that wants to go Wednesdays? Wait, earlier? Let's see,
Yeah, October's good.
November isn't affected anybody's.
No, it's dark.
That's just a roll call of
Yep.
approve the meeting dates. I mean, that's just
All in
a yea or
favor?
nay, yeah.
All in favor of the 2026 meeting date, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Now, agenda item number 5 is, did you see that, say where that? Mark
Yeah,
Pelton. Mark Pelton had, he has 14 acres basically on Stewart Road that was assessed to garbage last year.
Okay.
is that mine?
I'll make the motion to refund Mark's garbage.
Is that, this fund is 1 year assessment, or has it been being assessed for the last 20 years?
No, he just bought this, a couple of years ago. I don't know if you want the property number or any of that.
Yeah, she never just had that one.
That's the parcel number.
It's that cornfield on the right side.
But yeah, he's just the 1 year, so I think that's all that he's asking for.
He didn't give you amount? He wants you to look up the amount of what he wants?
Well, what would it, it's that, what was it last year? Garbage 200?
1025.
No,
That's what we went to this year.
Going to the
Yeah,
shack was
so is
200.
it after this year's?
24.
Oh, is it after last year?
I think it was
Yeah,
200.
205 was it?
Yeah, 205.
I think, yeah.
Did that get seconded?
Oh. I don't think you talked
I
about it,
mean-
but nobody.
I made the motion.
I'll
And
second
he's
it.
only asking for 1 year, right?
Yeah.
That's all he was charged? I didn't check, I didn't
Yep,
see.
yeah,
the
it's just the 1 year
paper.
is all he's
I don't know
asking
what
for.
parcel it was in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he's that number 2.
Well, yeah, Todd's gotta do the refund and.
Mhm. Where is Todd, on vacation?
Mhm.
Where'd he go, Florida?
He's on a cruise.
Oh, boy.
Roll call.
Yep. You're ready.
He's getting his son tan.
Norton,
Yes.
Pruitt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Van Wert,
Yes.
Turk,
Yes.
Varner.
All right, agenda item number 6 are the Freedom of Information procedures and guidelines. I just took it from one off of MTA, had one and just put it to Homer Township, so that's the one that we have. This will just be tucked in and just the
Put
resolution.
on the website.
Yeah. Should be put on,
Can you send me the file?
yeah, I can get that far. Yeah, I can do that. No, it's already saved on there, so.
How are we gonna determine on the processing fees, Russ? How will we determine that fees?
Usually it isn't, and it's basically up to Todd. If it's in general, but, you know, it had to be in here, otherwise if it was some huge order request.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure, you know.
But yeah, I mean, if it's in general, most of them are just simple ones, so they're just out there, but if it is a major, then we're covered. Good. And it covers if the person requested it, doesn't like it, they can appeal it.
So we put Todd as the person in charge of this also, right?
Yep, we approved that
All right, the
a
first
few
one.
months ago.
Send that one Brian's neighbor.
So would you approve this?
You're not changing
Yeah.
anything, so you're just basically.
That's a resolution, I think we have to roll call.
Yeah, it's,
I'll make the motion
it's a
We
new
had a
document.
resolution in our
To accept.
meeting.
to accept it, and Todd's gonna control it.
Just the township,
Yeah.
FOIA procedures over at Funds.
Yeah.
Who seconded it?
I did,
Okay.
I seconded it.
Okay. And we'll put a date on there as of today, 12/17, and we're gonna make it a resolution. Okay,
Any board comments, public comments? Roll call?
Horton,
Yes.
Van Wert,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
and Pruitt,
Yes.
and Turk,
Yes.
and Vernon.
Yes. Agenda item number 7 are, the paper towel dispensers in the back. These are the one in the office, it works about every 10th time, it just keeps jamming, so, I don't know if you had a chance
We
today.
need
I
some.
called Dale, he said he was gonna send me something, but I didn't get it from him, and I know it's up to trusses. So he said he'd try to get it to me the next couple of days, he thought they were about $125 a piece.
The same ones we have, or
No,
some
they're
ones?
We're gonna
the
match
ones
Match the
that were put in
One's in the new pavilion.
new pavilion, so they're,
same paper towel they use, much easier.
Yep. Everything's the same.
Okay.
So if we need to get them, I'd make a motion to $200 a piece, up to $200 a piece.
so do like up to $600.
Yes, and they don't, Dale wasn't sure because he didn't have nothing in front of him. He was gonna get me the information on.
How many do we need? We need
Three.
just
3 right now.
Do we need one back in the kitchen?
You need more than 3, because you're doing the fire station too, right?
We're gonna make you use yours to get rid of all our cases of the paper.
I can get
And
rid
then
of that.
next year, we're gonna go for you.
That'll be gone by 9 o'clock if you'd like.
No, there's a couple cases yet down at the building.
All right.
Do yours not work very well?
Ours worked fine until the janitor doesn't know how to replace the paper.
That's
She
what's
breaks it.
happened here.
She's
Yeah,
been breaking
broke
them,
them
so.
all. Yeah.
Want us to take these?
The money we're paying for, you can get twice for, so.
We're trying to be frugal with the township money. But it's, I do have problems on rentals here, you know, they don't pull out, so we thought that we should match what's at the park, and then we're only buying one case of stackables.
Makes sense.
Do we need an additional dispenser in this building for the kitchen?
I would say no, because these people would be pulling them all out to mop up their stuff and dry their dishes and,
Okay.
There's towels in there.
yeah, and there's towels in the drawer.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion?
Yeah,
Okay.
you made the motion,
Yes.
right? Okay. So $600 for 3 new paper towel, or,
Up to.
Paper towel dispensers.
then it's not, yeah, okay, we'll call it paper towel. Okay,
Any more board comments or questions? Any public comments? Roll call?
Van Wert,
Yes.
and Horton,
Yes.
and Pruitt,
Yes.
and Johnson,
Yes.
and Turk,
Yes.
and Garner.
Yes. Agenda item number 8 are just, I've just thrown it out there, we don't have to approve it till next month. Everyone has a copy of our millage, or what our total is. With their match, it's 313,000. But I don't know if it's the first or second match, or no, I think it's just the non-match. The millage rate, our legislators decided they were taking, that additional, they started a few years ago, that we got that 55 or 60,000. They decided they took it out of the budget and we're gonna fund the major part of it out of marijuana tax and some other entities. Well, the state budget, or new year, started October, and it wasn't in there, and they didn't have the other ones, so that money is not, supposedly, we don't have that money, and supposedly the marijuana is appealing, that, I think it was like 24%.
Okay.
So, they have no idea if we're gonna get that extra millage or not. But, yeah, so they pulled it out of their budget for this year, but then they haven't replaced it yet. So, kinda.
Good overreach again, huh?
But we're still, I think, a lot. Art Buck sent me these, he went and, these are just based on last year's, but I mean, it's very minimal, so I think we need to see if there's other roads or something that we wanna do. A lot of this is just, like, Oakwood, Bullet Creek Sub, Kidney Drive, that was an overlay, 'cause that's getting kinda bad. That Lambert Road over here across the river, is gonna be an overlay, and then the rest is, we pretty much just did chip and bog seal or crack seal on some of these other courts.
Is there any drainage we need to look at, Russ?
One person sent one down that's from Oak, and the Homer, Oak Ridge,
Yeah.
down there to look at. That's the only thing I've gotten so far. I sent it out in the newsletter, and but yeah, a lot of the roads, cause like Olson here and Homer, the county's still trying to, Homer's getting bad from here to 20, it's pretty tough, but the county may take it over, so he said, don't, just wait yet on that.
Okay.
But, so yeah, just if you get a chance in the next few weeks driving around roads and just see if there's others that we should overlay here. Cause that's only a little bit.
Yeah.
But not very.
Quick question.
Yep.
Do you ever ask the road commission if they have any suggestions on roads that they hate in your township that would need attention?
That they hate.
I mean, they plow them all, a lot of them.
That's what they've given us, right?
Yeah, that's what these are. I do
That's
have
from them, okay.
and yeah, this is from them. I do have that. Pacer. the pacer that has the conditions of the roads and
Okay.
what their ratings are, so, but a lot of them are.
So they're talking about the county taking over the 2 miles
Be 3 miles actually, from here to 20,
and
and then from here to
all the way 30?
Yeah,
What's their reason? I mean, I'm not gonna.
Well, I think a lot of it's got to do with traffic, because a lot of people cut that corner.
Traffic, and when you have to reroute traffic.
Traffic, yes, that's what they're using. So they're not.
yeah, if it comes this way, or like, I mean,
Yeah.
South Homer and
There's a lot of traffic last year,
Yeah.
this last summer.
Mhm.
so that, I just wanted to, one person wanted to know about on Winding Drive, what about, putting water down that, but that's a whole different.
That's, yeah, of course, we just
this. So yeah, if you guys get a chance, just do that.
So we intend to have that on the agenda for January?
Yep, to approve what roads, because if there's any, if you guys look around and come up with something, let me know, because then I can get a hold of Art Buck at the road commission, he could come up with an estimate.
With an estimate?
So we'll have, but I think we have quite a bit yet to spend. Okay, agenda, we'll just let that go. Agenda item
Oh,
number.
so you know, I talked with, I go to the road commission meetings, the west end of East Miller Road, that one just before the Pine River Bluffs area, there was a segment of road that they had certified, or had done, I think the township was involved, 2005-ish, 2002, in that range. And the road had been, they'd done it according to the county standards, and it was supposed to be certified, but the Middle County Road Commission never did their full part. I don't know if John Myers talked to you about that segment? It's about a quarter mile or so at the end. They just did a chip and seal a couple of years ago. Well, they didn't I think it fell up through the cracks on their end, and so now they're at some point, I don't know if they're gonna need to put a cap on it, overlay, or what they're gonna do. When they were there, I think if they realized they didn't follow through and get certified, then they would have chipped and sealed it then. Now it's got a few more years, it's near the end, it's in much worse shape, so you're gonna see, in the next edition of there, that the East Miller Road off of Woodcock is gonna be about another quarter mile.
Right before you get to
Yeah.
the entrance there.
Yeah, because we were having them come out to look and see, well, who owns that road, and that, lo and behold, they found out, oops, the county did, they forgot to follow through and do the rectification when they did all the repairs 20 years ago or so.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I thought
Well,
they
they did
were
repairs over
talking
2
about
years.
that. Pardon?
They did repairs over 2 years because they did all the drains, the cross drains,
Yes,
1 year,
Yeah.
and then the following year had to come
Yes,
back once
and
the
they
ground
would've-
settled.
they maybe would have, if they realized it and we had been asking them, and found, oops, we should have done it, they would have done it then. But now, so I don't know what they're gonna do. I just want to be aware that road is, classifications will change.
All right, thanks, Larry. Anything else? Agenda item 9, it just updates on some of the garbage collection and complaints of missing. McCree's been getting a lot.
And me. Both of us.
Sandra, the dumpster at the cemetery, I think was finally dumped, but it hadn't been dumped in like 7 weeks.
I send at least 2 to 3 messages a week. And Todd was very persistent and kept sending them one. But I finally made a phone call and said, you're not pushing me around, this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna get an answer. And I found out they have 8 departments, residential, commercial, and then you have a roll-off, and then you got, I wanna rent a dumpster department. So we kept putting all our complaints to residential, who never heard anything about the dumpsters being whined to be dumped. And then he proceeded to say to me, well, if you want them dumped, you just call me. I'm like, okay, I was transferred 5 times, so give me your number, but he couldn't do that. So I feel that you need to bring a representative out here and say, tell us what's going on. We have 3 more years of you. And I had a phone call at 5:04 tonight, Sandy was here, Carroll Drive. Haven't picked up their garbage for 2 weeks. There's 8 homes on that road and they have not picked up garbage for 2 weeks.
So that's why I think maybe let's see if we can get them for the next month. Get a rep in here for it, because we did find the contract, and it does say the contractor, you know, we have four dumpsters, one here, the fire barn, the park, and the cemetery. And it says,
Once,
yeah,
they'll do it.
they picked up every week at no charge.
But the problem is we're not targeting the same driver.
Yeah, it still doesn't matter. But yeah, once per week at no additional charge.
But are they saying that we need to make a phone call for them?
Well, that's what they tried to tell Kareem,
Right,
that we were on a,
We're on
Call
year
and
2, we've never had to call before.
Right.
But he also told Kareem that somebody from the township contacted them not to pick it up weekly, that we would call them when we want it picked up. That's not occurred.
I don't think that's.
There's no reason that we can't pick it up every week.
Yeah. So I mean, and garbage cans too, they're like, what, 6 weeks out, 8 weeks?
To get replacements?
Yeah.
At least.
Oh,
They don't have any.
What Dave say, they've got some that's 14 weeks now? They've got some a long time and they haven't got a long time.
And then, complaints on the number of garbage cans too, we talked about that. And in the contract, you know, the contractors will be responsible for pickup of 2 trash carts and 2 recycling carts per residence. The contractor shall not be obligated to pick up more than 2 trash carts and 2 recycling carts from each residential dwelling unit, unless the residential dwelling unit agrees to pay for a said additional collection expense to
Are
contract.
they complaining about that, or?
That's part of our contract.
Right.
No,
Are they
but-
complaining about extras, or we're just hearing it from the residents?
Residents are complaining that,
Especially,
We don't even
Big
know where
gyms
some
or
of these
whatever.
places are even getting these extra carts from.
yeah, who knows?
like that Beecham had just like 5.
No, he's got about 12 carts now.
Well, that's where we can get our replacement curse from.
But I don't know where they're,
And he needs to go to a business dumpster.
Well, yeah.
He's already been notified about that.
but I think we need to clarify to the drivers that
Pick up
you only
anywhere.
pick up two garbage containers per residence.
They should be able to do that.
Yeah, that should be a simple. So that's, I think, one more thing that we'll have to talk about with, I was just, one, to kind of bring that out, to that's what these 2 especially are going, the complaints on a lot of that.
I noticed that they've been really late at getting the trash cans too.
They seem to vary quite considerably. I mean, ours, it'll be, 7:30 in the morning, and then we've had times where it's after 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
I think this week is recycling for the north part,
Yes.
Yes.
and our recycling didn't get picked up today. So,
Mine wasn't yet when I come here, so.
yeah. Yep. So
The west side of 5 Mile was done,
was it?
yes, but that was done about 5 o'clock, but still hadn't come down.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think Kareem's right, we need to get a
Are
representative
you
here.
calling them, is Todd calling them, Joe's calling them?
I'll find
Get a
I'll
representative?
get a number that I have too.
We'll
We'll figure it out.
Get a number,
somebody
yeah, we will.
Sooner than later too. So. Okay, that's all that. Agenda item number 10, is renew the planning commission members. What, Greg?
Okay, this is for
These 4 people to be updated
who's staying?
Should be just one.
They all are.
Nobody gets on.
It's such a fun time to play.
Yeah.
Nobody got their not
As
in.
much as Darcy, threatened, she's still staying.
So this is 3-year term,
This is a 3-year term, yes.
26 to 29.
So who all do we have? We got Darcy,
No, wait, wait.
Greg Caskey, Brian, oh, what do you mean, who's up now? No,
yeah, who are we voting on tonight?
Brian Horton,
Brian,
Darcy Johnson, Stephanie Kirkpatrick, and Joe Cronkite.
I just.
Stephanie and Joe took over
Yes.
previous ones, they haven't been on for 3 years already.
I don't think so.
No.
They
Well,
filled
we
out
are-
somebody's term.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, we're just making sure everybody is
Yep.
updated that possibly needed updated.
Corinne, I'll make the motion to accept. The 3, 4,
4 members.
4 board members.
I'll second that.
You should learn shorter.
Got a robot.
Here's your change. Use your change.
Okay, Norton.
Yes.
Oh, were you gonna ask if anybody had comments?
Do they need to come in and get,
Then
Sworn in.
January 1st, they can come in and Todd will swear them all in.
January 1st?
L. Van Wert,
Yes.
Turk,
yes.
Burner,
Yes,
and Pruitt.
Yes.
Okay.
that's it for.
I'll tell her, she did, I'll break the news to her.
Second public comment, I wonder, how much money is invested in Michigan Pass?
I tried doing another $500,000 Monday, but it wouldn't take it, and then I contacted them, and they said I had to do something, reset something, and I tried doing that, and then I tried giving them a call, and I didn't get a response back yet, but I've got $550,000 in it right now. So, I was gonna transfer over another 500,000, but I gotta call them tomorrow. I had a funeral today, I got a funeral tomorrow, and I'll get a hold of them this week and see why the other one I can't do it online, it doesn't allow me to.
Okay.
So when you're doing this, how are you doing this? How did you do the
You have
first
to do it online.
500,000? Yeah, but are you specifying how much money is going into the separate accounts, or?
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so everything I've done is in general fund so far. When I went to do water maintenance, even though I set it up on the original thing, it won't set, it said it has to go through an approval process. So that's what they told me, so. That was done, so I tried doing it again. and
So
still won't do
we're
it.
finding out,
From 1/1/26 to 12/31/29.
Well,
You didn't
it won't do it for me.
if you didn't understand that it won't go unless you reload it, I mean, you.
Yeah, well, they said that it had to go for approval or something, so water maintenance. I gotta do that one first before I start the fire department, and I'll move some money over from fire.
Why don't you move more of the water lines? Is there water lines?
That's what I'm trying to get in there right now. Well, I'm gonna start with a smaller amount, make sure everything moves correctly. And,
Just jump.
then once it goes in, then I'll move the rest of it. Yeah.
Why not just jump in and do the million, the entire budget?
Then you only have to do it once.
Well, when I did the general fund, I did 50,000 first, and then I did that. I want to make sure one goes through first, and it doesn't try and come out of the general fund, it doesn't get messed up.
This year, you end with it?
Any other public comments? We've got too many things going on. The announcements?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. See you next year. There are refreshments in the back, so if you want to hang around.